Most Jeep owners never use what their vehicle already has built in, and they end up missing features that make daily driving and trail days easier. Recent research found about 2/3 of drivers either do not have or are not using the connected features in their vehicles. So today we are talking about 11 hidden Jeep features that make parking easier, off-roading smarter, and even protect your battery while the Jeep sits for weeks. No mods needed, no wiring, just stuff your Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, Gladiator, Compass, or Renegade already knows how to do. Feature number 1. Mirror tilt in reverse for curb-proof parking. Trying to slide into a tight city spot with big tires feels fine, right up until you hear that awful scrape near the curb. Curb rash happens fast, and once it happens, you never stop noticing it. Many higher trim Jeeps with memory seats include a built-in mirror tilt in reverse. And on models like the Grand Cherokee and Cherokee, you can turn on tilt side mirrors in Uconnect under mirrors and wipers. Owners on Grand Cherokee and Cherokee forums talk about using this setting mainly to avoid curb damage because the mirror drop shows the curb and lane lines when it matters most. Here is the part that surprises people. You can train the tilt so it lands exactly where you want. Put the Jeep in reverse, adjust each side mirror until the curb and rear wheel area look perfect. Then shift back to drive or park, and on many setups, the Jeep stores that as your reverse angle for that memory profile. Next time you drop into reverse, the mirrors dip on their own, and when you move forward, they rise back to the normal view, which feels like a factory parking cheat code once you get used to it. Mirror memory does the work, and you keep your wheels safer without adding cameras or any extra gear. Wrangler or Gladiator owners with power mirrors and memory seats should still check settings because the option can hide under driver assistance or convenience menus depending on model year. Factory parking help is already there, and most people never switch it on. Feature number 2, wiper service position that makes blade changes easy. Jeep wipers look clean when they tuck under the hood, but that design turns a simple blade change into a fight if you do not know the trick. You lift the arm, it hits the hood edge, and now you are stuck trying not to scratch paint in the process. Many Stellantis models, including the Jeep Renegade, have a built-in wiper service mode that moves the blades up so you can reach them safely. Owners describe a simple sequence. With the ignition off, you move the wiper stalk down within a few seconds of shutting the engine off, and the wipers park vertically on the glass. That small move gives you full access to the blades. It reduces the risk of scratching the hood, and it helps you avoid stressing the wiper motor by forcing the arms. On some other Jeeps, a similar version works by switching the ignition on and quickly moving the stalk, which means the exact timing can vary, so the owner's manual is the final word for your model. After cleaning or swapping blades, turn the ignition on and cycle the wipers, and they return to their normal hidden position like nothing happened. Service mode is simple, and it saves you from wrestling under that hood edge every winter. Feature number 3, hidden key and dead fob. Starting back up, push button start. Feels great until the key fob battery dies at the worst possible moment, and then the whole situation turns into a parking lot problem. Jeep planned for that, and the backup is better than most people think. Most modern Jeep fobs hide a mechanical key inside, usually with a small release slider that lets a metal key slide out. That key unlocks the driver door through a hidden cylinder, sometimes under a cap on the handle, sometimes behind a trim cover, depending on the model. Starting the engine is the clever part because the Jeep still has a way to read the fob even when the battery is dead. Sit inside with the dead fob, step on the brake like normal, then press the fob itself against the start button and hold it there, and the system reads a low-power RFID chip inside the fob at close range. Wrangler and Gladiator owners use this move when the dash shows key fob battery warnings, and it turns a stressful moment into a quick fix. You get in, you start the engine, and you leave without towing, without panic shopping, and without begging a dealership for help. Feature number 4, Jeep SOS and automatic emergency help. Jeep Connect and Uconnect Guardian can act like a digital helper that rides with you, and it is built into the vehicle on many newer models. On many new Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, and other models with Uconnect 4 or Uconnect 5, there is an SOS button near the mirror or overhead console. Pressing it connects you to a live agent who can see your Jeep's GPS location, and they can call police, medical help, or roadside assistance. That alone matters when you are alone on a commute. But the bigger part is what happens if you cannot press anything at all. If a severe crash happens and airbags deploy, the system can send an automatic crash notification, and the call center can receive crash data, plus location, and contact emergency responders directly. Automatic crash alert is the kind of feature you hope you never need, but it is hard to ignore once you know it exists. There is more built into the same setup, including stolen vehicle assistance that works with law enforcement to help locate a stolen Jeep, and theft alarm notification that can send texts or emails if the factory alarm triggers. These services usually continue as a subscription after a trial, but the hardware is already in the Jeep, and activating that trial can be one of the most practical hidden features you have. If you are still watching, remember to hit that subscribe button to get more Jeep insights. Feature number 5. Keep Jeep's safety sensors clean and accurate. A lot of driver assistance feels like magic until it stops working, and the reason can be way simpler than you expect. Your Jeep's systems rely heavily on a camera high on the windshield behind the rearview mirror, and a radar sensor hidden behind the front grille badge. On the 2025 Grand Cherokee, that camera and radar combo supports active driving assist, lane centering, adaptive cruise, and forward collision warning. Jeep documentation also notes that forward collision warning and related systems depend on sensors being unobstructed and clean, which sounds basic but explains many random warnings people see. Bug splatter, winter salt, heavy rain mist, and ice can block what those sensors need to see, and that can knock out lane keeping, adaptive cruise, or automatic emergency braking. Clean sensor view is not a fancy upgrade. It is basic maintenance that keeps your safety tech acting normal. 2 habits help a lot, and they take almost no time. When you clean the windshield, pay attention to the patch behind the mirror where the camera looks through, then wipe the front badge area gently with a soft cloth, especially after long highway drives. Your high-tech features cannot help if they cannot see, and a quick wipe keeps the system doing what you paid for. Safety tech visibility sounds boring, but it prevents annoying surprises. Feature number 6, park like a pro with built-in cameras and auto park. Big Jeeps can feel huge in tight garages, and that stress gets worse when you rely only on mirrors. Jeep already gives you parking tools that many owners ignore after the first week. Park View rear backup camera shows what sits directly behind you, and ParkSense Park Assist uses sensors to warn about obstacles and help you judge distance. On upper trims of Grand Cherokee, Compass, and Grand Cherokee L, you can get a 360-degree surround view camera that stitches multiple cameras into an overhead view. That top-down view makes curves and lines easier to read. It helps you judge distance to other cars, and it can make backing a trailer down a narrow driveway feel less like guesswork. 360 surround view turns a big SUV into something you can place more precisely, especially in crowded lots. Some models also offer parallel and perpendicular park assist, where the system scans for spaces and then steers the Jeep while you manage the brake and gear selector, similar to self-parking systems on luxury brands. Many owners never touch the button that looks like a P with the steering wheel, but once you practice it a few times, parking a larger Jeep starts feeling simpler. Feature number 7, off-road pages, live trail telemetry on your dash. Wrangler, Gladiator, and certain Trailhawk or trail-rated models. With Uconnect, 4 or 5 can have off-road pages hiding in the apps menu. It feels like a feature made by people who actually drive trails, because it puts the right info in front of you without extra gauges. Off-road pages can show real-time pitch and roll angles, steering angle, and driveline info, like which axles are locked and whether four-wheel drive low is engaged. Depending on the model, you also see transfer case status and extra readings like oil and transmission temps, which is the kind of detail people normally add with aftermarket gear. Instead of guessing if lockers are really engaged, the screen tells you in plain terms, and instead of eyeballing how steep you are, you get numbers that match what the Jeep is feeling. Some owners even mirror these pages to Android Auto, so they stay visible while navigation runs, which keeps the trail data in sight while you move. If you trail ride often, setting off-road pages as a shortcut tile is one of the best moves you can make because you stop hunting for it every time you need it. The trail telemetry screen is already inside your dash, and it makes the whole drive feel calmer. Feature number 8, select terrain and select speed, off-road cruise control you never touch. Select terrain looks like a simple dial, but it changes how the Jeep behaves in ways you can feel right away. Many Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, Compass, and some Wrangler models come with modes like auto, snow, sand/mud, and rock on trail rated versions. Those modes adjust throttle sensitivity, transmission shift points, traction control and braking behavior, and torque split between front and rear axles, which means the Jeep is actively changing how it puts power down. Snow softens throttle and starts in a higher gear to reduce wheel spin. Sand/mud allows more wheel slip to keep momentum in loose terrain, and rock-on models with low-range coordinates the transfer case, diffs, and electronic aids for slow, controlled crawling. Select speed control is where people get surprised because it works like off-road cruise control for climbs and descents. You set a target speed, and the system uses engine braking and individual wheel braking to hold that speed while you focus on steering, which makes steep or rocky sections feel more predictable. If you manually ride the brakes on long descents, your legs work harder and the brakes can heat up, and that is where select speed starts paying off. Low speed control stays steady, the Jeep holds pace for you, and your spotter's job often gets easier because the movement is smoother. Feature number 9, secret climate control diagnostic mode. When climate control acts weird, people often start swapping parts without a clear plan, and that gets expensive fast. Jeep has a built-in self-check in many systems, and it is closer to a service tool than a normal owner feature. On many Grand Cherokee models with dual-zone automatic climate control, the automatic zone control HVAC head can enter a self-diagnostic mode. With the ignition on, you press and hold the AC and recirculation buttons at the same time. Then rotate the left temperature knob one click while still holding, and the display enters diagnostic mode. The system runs a segment test and shows 2-digit fault codes for blend doors, sensors, and other HVAC components. If everything is healthy, you see 00 on the display, and if faults are logged, it cycles through codes so you or your mechanic know where to look. This comes from Chrysler service procedures rather than bold owner-facing menus, so many drivers never find it. When heat only comes from certain vents or the air feels stuck on one setting, this hidden test can point to an actuator or sensor issue before you throw money at random parts. 8V fault codes keep the problem focused. Feature number 10, Jeep app, connected services, and badge of honor. A lot of people download the Jeep app, try it once, then forget it exists, even though it can do more than remote lock and unlock. On compatible vehicles with connected services active, the app can remotely start the engine and set climate, lock or unlock doors, and flashlights, or honk the horn to help you find the Jeep in a busy lot. It can also show vehicle health reports and maintenance alerts, and Vehicle Finder can show the Jeep on a map. Vehicle health reports are useful when you want a quick status check without digging through screens in the cabin. Off-road fans have another option tied to Jeep's Badge of Honor program inside its dedicated trail app. You can log approved trails, earn digital badges, and on some runs receive physical badges for your rig, which turns trail trips into a trackable record instead of a vague memory. Jeep has expanded the program with new trails, digital achievements, and integration with Uconnect 5 navigation, so downloadable adventure guides can give turn-by-turn off-road directions. That means you can track trail history, keep an eye on service health, and precondition the cabin from your phone using tools many owners never open after delivery. Badge of Honor makes the whole off-road side feel more connected. Feature number 11, built-in battery protection and long-term sleep tricks. Battery problems often look random, but modern Jeeps actually have layers of battery protection built in. When the control module senses the 12-volt battery dropping, it progressively shuts down non-essential systems so you still have enough power to start the engine, and owners see messages like battery saver on with reduced power notes when this kicks in. If the Jeep sits untouched, electronics can move into deeper sleep, and owners plus Uconnect documentation describe that after roughly 15 days without being started, the vehicle enters a power-saving mode and stops listening for app commands to limit keyless and telematics draw. An ignition cycle wakes everything back up, which is why the app can seem dead after long storage even when nothing is broken. Jeep manuals also recommend an old-school move for serious storage, because if you plan to park the vehicle for 2 weeks or more, disconnecting the battery prevents parasitic drain from modules that never fully shut off. Owners also warn about something many people overlook. Keeping the key fob inside the cabin can cause repeated wake-ups from proximity systems, and that can lead to overnight dead batteries. A simple storage playbook falls out of that. Keep the key fob far away from the Jeep so proximity sensors do not keep waking modules. And for trips longer than a couple of weeks, disconnect the negative terminal or use a smart maintainer on the 12-volt battery. While remembering the Jeep already tries to preserve charge by shutting down background features when voltage drops or time passes. Handled correctly, that combination can keep a healthy battery alive through the kind of long storage that normally kills it. Long storage battery care is not fancy. It is just knowing how the Jeep already thinks. If you enjoyed unlocking these hidden Jeep features, the next step is using them. Set up your mirror tilt, try off-road pages on your next trail day, and open the Jeep app right now to see what your rig can already do. Your Jeep is capable of a lot more than just drive and reverse. The fun starts when you actually tap into it. Don't forget to subscribe for more Jeep insights. See you in the next video.